and welcome to the Gaming Chronicles. Today we will continue Phantasy Star 2 from the Sega Genesis Classics library. So let's fire it up. Alrighty, in our previous episode we completed the last dungeon of Dizo, Naval, or however you say it. And then we went back to Motavia to set up a very long grinding session for stealing items. And this is, of course, the primary use of Sure in the game, or her best use in the game, because as a figure in combat, she's not that great, really. Just to kind of show you. So I got her up to level 20, and while she has decent hit points for the level that she's on, her technique points are not good. And considering the fact that Sure actually gets quite powerful spells, she gets, I believe, both Nafoy and Nagra, and I'm not sure about Nazan, but she gets powerful spells, second only to Rolf. However, her technique points are just so low that they're not sustainable in combat long term. Even if you were to level her up to like level 40, which would take forever, because she's on the same par of Amy as far as like how much experience she gets per level. Excuse me. Sure and Amy have the highest experience increase per level, as far as I know, of everybody else. So leveling up Sure takes a long time, as it does with Amy. So I once leveled Sure up, what was it, the level 38 long time ago, and that was just, I would rather claw my eyes out than do that ever again. So we're not going to level up Sure, or the other two characters either, Kane or Hugh. It's just, I've already talked about why. Now, one thing I wanted to illustrate as we're getting into this episode is just how maddening this madness is, right? Stealing items. So you have to just go in and out of an item shop. It does not matter what item shop you choose. It can be this one here in Paseo. It can be any on Motavia. It can be any on Dizo. It does not matter. Some people have said otherwise. Some people says, oh, well, it does matter. It matters what item shop you're in. You know, the farther along in the game that the item shop is, the more likely you are to steal higher level items. Let's just fast forward. But there's no true data or evidence that actually supports that. There is, I think it's on RPGClassics.com or RPGClassicsShrine.com. Somebody actually did kind of a small data study as far as trying to grab a percentage of it, because I don't think that there's anything published, whether printed or on the internet, that officially states that this is the percentage or the proc chance of this. It's just a thing. Anyway, on this site, the individual who wrote the Phantasy Star 2 guide gave a percentage of the 4 different items that you can steal from an item shop based off of how many times that they were stolen. And I don't remember what like Hide a Pipe and Trimate were, because those are the 2 more common. But Moondew was like 20 to 25%. Star Mist was like 5%. And so that was I think he or she did. They stole 100 items from a shop. I think it was just from the shop in Paseo. I think. And so that, I think, is the only thing out there that I've ever seen that gives any kind of recorded data on, you know, how successful you are to get a Moondew or a Star Mist, which are those high value items and very needed at the end of the game. And as you can see, we go in and out of the shop an indefinite amount of times. It's so random that you don't know. And sometimes I do it so often, like I've been in and out of the shop so many times that I just have to check to see if Sure is there. It's like, really? This is just ridiculous. And another thing that I have noticed is that when you exit the shop, okay, so we go into the shop, we say goodbye, and we exit. Now, immediately you'll notice that the little NPCs that wander around, they make some kind of a movement. If you do not wait that split second for them to move, like if you just go in and out like this, and if you just keep doing that, go in and out, without waiting for those NPCs to make a movement, sure will not steal. Oh, wait. Am I wrong? I am wrong. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, first time for everything. For whatever reason, in all the years in time I have played Phantasy Star 2, so this is groundbreaking for me right here, right now. In all the times that I've gone in and out of that dang shop, if I have not waited a split second for those NPCs to do a move, I have never stolen anything. Never. I can confidently say that I have never had it been successful. So I'm glad that it does. But anyway, I was under the impression that you had to wait for the NPCs to move. I don't know why. Something maybe to do with the RNG, but okay, I was wrong on that. So disregard that little piece of wisdom. That's just nonsense, really. But anyway, you can see that this can take forever. So we stole a hide-a-pipe, we stole a trimate, and so not only is it random to steal an item, but it is random, even more random to get the items that you want. Now, before this episode, I did stock up. I got 3 Star Mists and a Moondew for Rolf, likewise for Amy, and then Rudo has the same thing. Now, Anna has, let's see, a Moondew, and I think I'm gonna call it good for there. Let's see, give to Anna, because okay, yeah. I have spent a long time grinding out these stinking items, and it just at one point it makes the game be a drag. It really does. Let's see. Anna, Amy, Hugh, not Hugh, Rudo, and Rolf. Okay. Alrighty. And Rudo. Let's see. Star Mist, Moondew. Star Mist, Star Mist. Okay. And everybody has their items that cast Gyres, 2 sleeves. Amber Robe. You have the Storm Gear Snow Crown. You have the Color Scarf. Okay. Visiphone. Logic Cap. Okay, we have everything we need. Let's resort. There we go. Okay, and we're going back to Dezo now. We're gonna just do the next part in the storyline. Let's go to the roof. Mode is only spaceship. Yep, let's fly it to Dezo. And what I also wanted to do was just do. Oh, that's right. We have to get out of Skewer. Well, that's fine. That'll give us more time to chit chat. Okay, so Storm Gear and fight. So anyway, I wanted to illustrate just how ludicrous the stealing mechanic is in this game, and just how frustrating it is to try to get all of those items. And I don't even want to think about how many hours I have put into. Oh, that's rude. Let's see. Let's just Nafoy your face off. How many hours I put in to getting those items? I mean, and I had to take like, oops, what did I just do? Like I had to break up the grinding, the item grinding into chunks over the space of several days, because it just, this is nonsense. Just because it is so infuriating. Yeah, it really is. So anyway, I'm not salty about that or raging anymore. At the time I was doing it, I was just beside myself. Fuming at the nose. Where am I going? Let's see. Anna, we'll have you attack Kulai 61. Alright. So enough about Sure and stealing items and just how ridiculous that is. I just wanted to show just how randomized it is, the frequency of her actually, disappearing and stealing something, and then the fact that, you have to, roll the dice whether you're going to get a Hide-a-Pipe Trimate or, let's see, I think, I don't remember the way off the top of my head. Whether or not you get the item you want, and since the Moon Dews and the Star Mists are higher value items, the chance of them dropping on a steal is of course reduced. That's just how these things work. Now that we're done with that, I did want to just do the next part of the game. So what you have to do is you have to go through Skewer one last time. Let's hope that I'm actually going the right way, because I'm doing this by memory. If we're not going the right way, then whatever. We'll figure it out. I think this is it. Score! Okay, this will take us to the Ryu one, which is fine. Doesn't matter as long as we get out of there. Whew. I thought that for a second I had not remembered. Thank goodness I did. So I don't feel like pulling up my maps today. I just want to do this next segment, kind of do a chat and grind, if you will. I've said before that I wanted to kind of go through the compendium, and there's also a timeline on the fandom page that is, I think, valuable if you want to know what's going on, because the actual game itself, Phantasy Star 1 and 2, they don't really tell you much about the background of the game, right, as far as what's going on lore-wise, history-wise. Now, other games fill you in eventually, like I think Phantasy Star Gaiden, Phantasy Star Adventure, which are official games in the Phantasy Star universe, but I think one of them is a text adventure, and neither one of them I think were released in North America. So unless you obtained a copy of the Japanese game somehow, or if you lived in Japan and played them, then I don't believe that you would have had the experience of Phantasy Star Gaiden and Phantasy Star Adventure. I think they're actually called Phantasy Star 2 Text Adventures. And they actually, I think, fill in a lot of stuff as far as like the timeline, the lore, and stuff like that that you kind of wonder about as you're playing the game. A lot of the why questions that you ask yourself, right? So anyway, I did want to I guess read a little bit from those resources while I grind a little bit, just to show one how rich the, let's see, I need to equip the Magic Cap, how rich the lore of this game is, and in history and all that stuff, and then heal, thank you. And then also to just show how beefy the endgame enemies are, like in the spaceship Noah, like just how much of a beating you can take from just the dungeon mobs, right? So I think teleport must be over here. And we're gonna teleport to Akba. Bye-bye. Okay, and equip Rolf with the name it. Okay. And I believe that I have all of the Nay items. You have the Nay shield, and I think Amy has the Nay email. It's a shame that she can't equip that. So it's extremely, extremely powerful as far as defensive abilities. But 2 Laconian emails is good. Okay. So we need to go to the southwest. First west and then south. Oh, come on now. Getting ambushed by rabbits and orangas. And also, I just wanted to show like what the in-between link is really. It's like, okay, yeah, there's enough moving parts between Naval and this little part that I decided, yeah, let's go ahead and just make it an episode. Let's see. Yeah, let's just fight. Don't need to use any TP right now. Oh, that's right, it's a tractor base. I was thinking it was a Spectre and just did single target damage, but... Okay, we need to go, I think, south? Yep, there's the little... I always use that little lone stand of tree. Whenever I see that, I know that I'm almost there. Okay. Unfortunately, don't need a map for this. I remember well enough now that we can just walk to where we're going. But yeah, we have to go through the crevice, of course, since there's no teleport point to the Esper Mansion. Alright, so anyway, let's pull up the compendium. Let's just go ahead and see what this whole compendium is that I've been mentioning a lot. So I think it was released in 94, 95. It was shortly after the end of the Millennium. Phantasy Star 4 End of the Millennium was released that this was published. Let's see. Does it say when it was released here? Not what I'm looking at. It doesn't say. That's fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So, we're going to start with Phantasy Star 1, just because that's not a game that I'm chronicling. To give, you know, a backstory to Phantasy Star 2, and many pertinent things, right? So, Phantasy Star 1, it all began here. Began here. And it uses these years as reference points, and it took me a long time to figure out what AW meant. So Phantasy Star 1 starts in the year AW 342, which stands for After Wars, or after Waz or something like that. It's like WAISZZ or something like that. But anyway, it signified when... Ooh, we better put up the snow ground just so we don't take unnecessary damage. Yeah, those Owl Talons, they have good defense. And Rudo missed! Yeah, it's a good thing we put that up. Otherwise we would have taken a lot of unnecessary damage from Owl Talons of all the stupid things. Okay, anyway, so it talks about Parma, and it's I think it can be interchanged either way, Parma, Palma, at least in English, just because in Japanese it's all the same to them. They don't have the sound of the letter L, and because linguistically L and R are exclusively in the same, was it sound group, or phonetics group, like La and Ra, even though it's very distinct to us in English, to a language that only has one or the other, they both sound similar, if not identical. So anyway, Parma, Palma, I switch it up every now and again. I think I most commonly call it Palma. But anyway, It's mentioned how it had reached the height of its glory under the rule of Lashiek. Now here's another thing, Lashiek and Lassic. It seems like the Lashiek name is like the family name, and Lassic is the actual villain of Phantasy Star 1 at the end of the game. It seems that way. I'm not sure if that's what it is really, but it doesn't matter. What does matter is that the Lashiek family, who ruled Algo at the time, had they had opened other planets to colonization, and let's see, plans for the development of farm plants and resources had smoothly gone forward. This is mostly talking about Mota, of course, or Motavia. Star-going space shuttles went back and forth to the Algo star system's second planet, Motavia, from Parma's spaceport, and some years after the start of that, construction had begun on a spaceport on the third planet, Dezolis, as well. So this is at the so this is AW34, and then in the spring of that year, sinister rumors began to spread among the citizens that the nobles of the ruling class that had brought Lashiek to power had been taken in by an evil religion, and that Lashiek had turned over the Algo solar system in exchange for eternal life. Moreover, it looks as if the rumors are becoming reality. Strange creatures run rampant all throughout each planet, and the peaceful lives of the populace are imperiled. So that's the beginning of Phantasy Star 1. Where it starts off. Okay, there's our stairs. I think we have to go south here, right? And then it talks about our main characters. Now, the main character, like all good Japanese RPGs, can't be an adult. That would just be outrageous. So she's 15 years old. Alyssa Landale. Now, the thing about the Landale is that we don't even figure out until, I believe, was it the release of the compendium? I don't even remember. If in Phantasy Star 1 it reveals that Alyssa Landale is actually rightful heir to the crown. Oh, Aero Tanks, I don't like you. Let's get rid of you. Nah, boy. So anyway, basically what had actually happened was the Lashiek family, they had usurped the throne, I believe. Let me go to the timeline and actually look at this here. So let's pull up the After Wars. Let's see, go all the way back here. Okay, so After Wars. Okay, so the timeline is that let's see. Okay, so going back to when the AW timeline even started. So yeah, Wyaz, W-A-I-Z-Z, Wyaz Landale unites the planet Parm. Did I just backtrack? I don't even know. These fights are kind of disrupting my thought process. So Wyaz Landale is the one who unites the planet Parma, and he begins ruling as the king. And then 150 years later, the first Palman spacecraft lands on Dezo. They make contact, and then 30 years later, they start building a spaceport on Dezo. And then fast forward to we are running into a lot of encounters here. This is kind of ridiculous. Okay, so then fast forward 140, 50 years again, and then our characters of the Phantasy Star 1 begin to be born. Now, in 342, it just says that that's when Lassic becomes a tyrant. So that could be, you know, the individual named Lassic. So it could be Lassic Lashiek, it could just be Lassic, it could just be Lashik, it doesn't matter. So King Lassic, or King Lashik, he begins a tyrant. So what happened? Well, something had to have happened where the Lashik family usurped power from the Landale family. I think I am backtracking. Hold on, I need to focus on. Yeah, I think we're backtracking. Because those... Oh, these random encounters! There are so many of them. This is why... And this is, you know, why Phantasy Star 2 makes you rage a little bit sometimes. When you're really trying to get somewhere, it's like, I just want to get to where I'm going. I don't want to fight 100 random encounters when I just need to walk somewhere. Anyway. We might need to, like, take a random encounter just to, like, heal. Okay, I think we need to go this way. Do we need to go north? No, that's dead end. Okay, so... Yeah, I just backtracked because I lost track of where I was, looking at the timeline in the compendium instead of paying attention to where I was on the dungeon here. Ah, so aggravating. And then another random encounter, of course. Okay, so anyway, blah blah blah. So the Lashik family, they've overtaken the government somehow, somewhen, and then of course they going back to the compendium. It talks about the characters, right? It talks about Alice. She was raised in the residential district of Caminite on Palma. She lived together with her older brother, but her older brother was murdered by Lashik's Robocops, and that's when she swears vengeance and starts on the journey to overthrow Lashik. And then it talks about Meow, I don't know how you say his name, a strange animal that can speak the human language. We find out, of course, that he is a musk cat, and oh heavens to Betsy, we made it out. That he is a musk cat, and that he's part of a race of magical felines. Okay, we made it here. Okay, we're gonna do this part. Okay, so we made it back to the Esper Mansion, and now that we have all of the Nay items, we talk to Lutz again. Good job, you are truly a descendant of Alice. I acknowledge that you are qualified to succeed the power of light and the memory of darkness. For 1,000 years ago, after the battles of Alice, Algo obtained peace for a short while. People were satisfied with what was given to them by those they loved, and did not ask for more. And it was their pleasure to give to their loved ones more than they wanted. What does that even mean? However, then Mother Brain arrived. Algo changed. We got confused because Mother Brain created so many things. We didn't really know what we needed. People started to fight for what Mother Brain created. They no longer thought that kindly about Alice. People then thought they could not live without Mother Brain. I think that a devil's trap is behind Mother's Brain. This caused the people's mind to weaken. The trap also leads Algo to destruction. I don't know who made the trap or why. There is a Nay sword in the box. When you pick it up, it will rescue you from the evil side. So, that is terrible English, and if you're, like a young kid playing this game, even a teenager, you're like, okay, my takeaway was that, Mother Brains have been messing stuff up. There was a devil's trap somewhere. What is that even about? Oh, Rolf, Trimate, use on Rue, I guess. Rolf has gotten the Nei sword, excuse me. Still reverting back to my... Okay, so check out our attack and defense. 310, 293. What? 336 and 327. The Nei sword is fantastic. Okay, so now what do? We're going to use the Visiphone first of all. What happened? We lost... Oh, is this a... I think this is a bug in the game. That you lose sound when you get to this part. So let's just reset, I guess. And then go back in, because Yeah, that silence is just unnerving. Yep, thank you. Okay. 35, 35, 35, 32. Okay, let's talk to Lutz again. And then he sends us to Noah. Are you brave enough to do battle with the powers of evil? No. In that case, I'll send you on your way with my prayers. Oh, God of Algol, bless this party with courage and strength. And then the reason why you say no is it heals you up fully. Very nice. So then we talk to him again. Yes. I will leave the future of Algol up to you. I pray for your safety. Use the Nay sword if you run out of power. It will bring you back here right away. Now go to those who watch us. Now go to those who watch us from outside Algo. You know, and Lutz's cryptic, speech is like, I mean, he's worse than Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, right? It's like, what are you even talking about? What do you even mean? I don't know. What all this is about. It's like, how much does Lutz actually know, right? That's something that's always come up with the question is, how much does Lutz know about what's really going on? Because he's lived for over 1,000 years, right? He's been around a long time. Now, granted, he's been in cryogenic sleep for a lot of that, but he's been around. Now, I'm not trying to get the Dark Force. I really just want to fight, actually, just to show how crappy this place is. Snow Crown, yep. Amy, Storm Gear, Rolf and Rudo. Alright, let's get it. Even the Nay sword doesn't do a lot of damage on these little guys. Ow. Not bad. Not really. I think Storm Gear will probably be better. Let's just actually see. Actually, no, we're just going to do Storm Gear because I saw how low of damage the Nay sword did, so these things probably have a lot of armor. High armor class. Anyway, so going back to the compendium while we're grinding and chatting in here. So it talks about Maya, a Tyrone or Odin, as his name is in the English version. He also had a vengeance quest to go and overthrow Lashiek, but he was turned to stone by a Medusa, and then he has to get rescued. And of course, Lutz, he's the last one, and according to the compendium, he conceals great magical power. At first, he tells Alice, no, I'm not going with you on your crazy quest. But then I think the governor convinces him. Does it say? Yeah, a letter from the governor. He's convinced to join. So anyway, let's see. Snow Crown. Excuse me. So then it tells you, okay, grand adventure across 3 planets, blah, 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 what you have to do. So that gives you a little bit of a background on Phantasy Star 1. Let's see. Tells you about the Gold Dragon or Gold Drake at the end, and then Lashiek himself, and then Dark Force. Or Dark, I think he appears as Dark Balls, something like that, but Dark Force is who it is, and he is the real enemy, Dark Force, who feeds on the evil in the hearts of the people. Lashiek was corrupted body and soul by his magic power and was nothing but a pawn. So then you learn that Dark Force is the real enemy, and it's the one that the party ends up defeating. So it's like, okay, that's good to know. And so then we come to Phantasy Star 2. That's it. That's about all the compendium tells you about Phantasy Star 1. So Phantasy Star 2. Let's go past all the blah blah stuff here. Let's see, scroll down. Ooh, a fiend. Snow crown for sure. I haven't fought fiends before. Ow! They're pretty beefy. 3,000 experience each. Wow, that's nice. Okay, we ran into a dead end. It's good to know. What's this thingy? Desrona. I have a bad feeling about the Desrona. 101 damage. Let's see what this guy does. Okay. That wasn't terrible, but that's only because he did a single target attack. 1700 experience each. Alright. Pretty good. Where does this pit take us? Let's go here. Anyway, so Phantasy Star 2 comes out. And, of course, now the year is 1284. So what happened in between Phantasy Star 1 and 2, right? Excuse me. So let's go back to the timeline, right? So Lassic, after he becomes a tyrant, murders Nero, Alyssa's brother. Let's see, 3 years after this, after the events of Phantasy Star 1, excuse me, this is important. So Phantasy Star 1, excuse me, takes place, oh crap, we just got ambushed by a fiend. Ouch! This is what I'm talking about. There are still terrorists that are loyal to Lassic, and they sabotage the spaceship that Alyssa and Lutz are on, and let's see. This is what it says. Terrorists loyal to Lassic sabotage Alyssa and Lutz's spaceship, transporting the two to another star. No record of the events that transpired exist. So they go somewhere. So Lutz returns. He originates common techniques and their usage. So prior to now, the common techniques like Foy, Gra, Watt. We haven't ran into Watt yet, actually. Zan. Is what are introduced by Lutz, right? To the people of Algol. Now it's been speculated that wherever he went, taught him Lutz, right? New magic to be able to give to the people of Algol, because the magic that he had was too powerful to share with the people of Algol. Don't know if that's true, there's nothing to support it, but that's just a conjecture. And then fast forward almost 500 years. The monster Cablon ravages planet Copto. Have no idea what this is actually, right? Let's see, let's go ahead and use the Amber Robe. Amy, we'll just have you do Storm Gear. And do some more healing, because we need it. That ambush that we had a couple counters ago, that was just nasty. Okay, let's go ahead and put Rudo and Anna fighting. Okay, there we go. It's a nice thing about these items is you can fight in here forever. You really could. If you wanted to fight in here forever, you could. Because as long as you've got the Snow Crown, and as long as you've got everyone with an item in their inventory that can cast Gyres, you're fine. just kind of have to sometimes juggle the healing. Excuse me. So anyway, I don't know what this monster is, and the planet Copto. Alyss apparently discovers the planet. Now this was, it just says years, actually, sorry. This is years before 813, so sometime when Alyss was still alive. We just don't know what year it is. Alright, Rolf gained a level, Amy gained a level, very good. And Copto is renamed to Alyssland. So this isn't part of like the Phantasy Star 1, 2, 3, 4 games. I don't even know what this is part of actually. Possibly Gaiden. Let's see. Does anybody need a heal? We're all pretty good. Yeah, we're pretty good. So anyway, then when the year 813 hits, more about Alyssland. The orphan Menina and her friend go in search of the latter's missing father, and then this is where, okay, there we go. The events of Phantasy Star Gaiden take place. Oh, this is different. Snow Crown. Let's actually put Rolf on the dark side. Yeah. Snow Crown. Sky Tiara. There's Amy taking a hit. Okay, yeah, they're not doing too bad. So anyway, this sets up Phantasy Star Gaiden, which, like I said, it's not a very known game, but it does have some pertinent events. I don't think it was released in North America, but you could probably get it nowadays. Anyway, so nine years after the events of Phantasy Star Gaiden take place is when the spaceship Noah discovers the Algos system. And so in Phantasy Star 2, I believe, if we go back to the compendium, let's see. No, we're not going to go back to the compendium yet. So AW 22, so after War 22, the Algo system is discovered by Noah, and the Earthman begins constructing Mother Brain immediately upon arriving. And and then 11 years later in AW 43, Laconia is discovered on Dizolis, which leads to a surge in migrants to the ice planet. AW 44, Earthmen covertly slaughter the entire royal family in a spaceship accident. Now, this is not Rolf's parents. This is long before Rolf. But this is the Landale family line. So, yeah, as any smart organization attempting to usurp power, you eliminate the ruling class. That's what you do, right? AW 845, excuse me. Mother Brain begins construction of its centrally located or controlled network on Palma. Same year, Lutz awakens from cyrostasis and goes into hiding with his followers on Dizo. So I think that implies that he was on Palma previously. Oh, I should have had Rolf do the Skyres. Okay. Anyway, where's Storm Gear? There we go. Aegis. So then AW52, a terraforming operation is launched, which drastically transforms Motavia from desert into the lush planet. So this is when Motavia gets its facelift, and I know all of this happens in the 800s. And then now, fast forward 500 years later to AW 1234. So we're getting closer to the timeline of Phantasy Star 2. And, excuse me. And then in 1234, Mother Brain bans sea travel. And that is, of course, so that nobody can discover the entrance to the underground entrance or the undersea entrance to Climate Troll, of course. Let's see, Wrestlers and Mystic Caves. We'll just fight them like this. Kabului. I think that Anna will finish the Wrestlers off, and the Mystic Cape's not going to do very much damage. Not really. Yeah, only 10 damage, that's not bad. Just over here. Alright. Okay, and then following the ban of sea travel on Moda, our 4 characters are born. So Rudo is the oldest. He was born in 1249. Then Amy was born in 1261. 1263, Rolf, Kane, and Schur are all born the same year. And then the baby is Hugh Thompson. He was born in 1264. Let's see, Snow Crown. Curious to see if this Desrona does anything else besides just single target. So far, no, which is fine with me. The less amount of hurt that these things can put on me, the better. Okay, let's go ahead and go down these stairs. We've wandered around this room long enough. So then in 1268, so, you know, Rolf's still a kid, so are all of these guys. An unnamed Motavian agent is summoned by his scientist friend Ken Miller to view the Doctor's invention. The events of Phantasy Star Adventure take place. So then in 1274, let's go past these stairs, see if there's anything else beyond here. Oh, Sky Tiaras and a Dark Side. Snow Crown, there we go. Okay, AW 1274. 2 spaceships collide over Dezolis, killing Rolf's parents. Rolf is saved by Lutz, and Mother Brain bans space travel. So, that's about the first piece of information that the timeline has even supplied us that we actually derive from the game. All this other stuff is like, if you hadn't played Gaiden or Adventure, which I'm pretty sure no one in North America would have, then you didn't know any of this other stuff. So anyway, then it talks about how Rolf, he's an 11-year-old sword prodigy, but then there's a few things from the Phantasy Star 2 adventure that we find out that we didn't know previously. So Rolf's description in the compendium is that he's let's see. His Japanese name is Yusis. This is Rolf's description. Employed as an agent of the Motavian government, his faithfulness to his many duties earned him the governor's deep confidence. When he was 10 years old, he lost his parents, lived alone ever since. He is a sword master and has gone through some rough times. But he is, at present, a kind-hearted young man. Man, we are so lost. It's a good thing that we're not planning on actually trying to do Dark Force today. Now, before he was a kind-hearted young man, he was an arrogant little prat. He had a friend who told him that there was this superb fencer that had been showing up at where was it? Let me see. At the sword gym is what they call it. The sword gym that could defeat Rolf. Rolf is skeptical, so he finds this guy whose name is, I think, O'Connor. O'Connor just owns him, and Rolf's embarrassed. He runs away from the gym, and eventually, Rolf decides to use this to his benefit, like to learn. I think he learns from O'Connor. Let's see. You must train in order to defeat O'Connor. the soothsayer, says that Uzo Island would be a great place to train in isolation. So he goes to Uzo Island, I guess, to train, which we know is a pretty dangerous place. Although it wasn't dangerous yet. It was actually still okay. Let's see, where are we going? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Or Rolf boards his flight to Uzo Island, so you can actually fly there, or could. It is the morning of the 12th month of the year AW 1274. Okay, so then AW 1281. So here is when the accident on Skewer happens, where the Laconian mine shaft causes poisonous gas. We know all about this. Mutates many of the local animals, and Paulmans evacuate the planet. Except the clone grandma, as we know. Sienna, fight, Dark Side, Savrudo, use the Crescent Gear. Okay, so fight. Alright, and then the events of Phantasy Star 2 start to happen, right? Energy meant for climate control. It's redirected to Biosystems Lab, which we know that Nay first is the culprit of that. And she starts causing havoc on Motavia, and starts releasing biomonsters and all that stuff. Scientists attempt to kill her because they think that their experiment is a failure. Ooh, these MX dragons are no bueno. But of course, she kills the scientists, and because of her creation and just all the shenanigans that surrounded her creation and how the scientists treated her, considered her a failure, she wants to kill everybody. That's understandable. I mean, if your creators try to kill you, and try to convince you that you're a mistake in life, then you might be a little bit bitter about that, and you might want a little bit of revenge. So then, a little bit more from the Phantasy Star adventure. When Rolf's 19, he's been training for 8 years, and he's become more calm, serious, and level-headed, according to the timeline. Now, he has a childhood sweetheart named Shelly, and she's been kidnapped while she was watching orphans. Oh, it should be mentioned that Rolf did grow up partially in an orphanage. That's what it means when it says he lived alone. He lived in an orphanage. Oh crap, a Lung and a Fire Dragon? I am not looking forward to this fight. Ugh. We'll take the Fire Dragon out first, just because I think that'll be easier. Let's Amber Robe a couple times. Excuse me. So Rolf, he actually has to go to Palma, because he received like a message saying that if he wanted to see Shelly again, he had to go to the Myra Tower in Scion, which is in, of course, Palma. So he goes there, and he gets ambushed by Shelly, who's become crazed and just insane. And he assumes she's brainwashed and quickly defeats her. He then opens a golden box with a key and presents her an old doll from when she was a child. She turns back to normal and allows Rolf to go up to the final staircase to meet the mastermind. So then he faces none other than O'Connor, that arrogant swordmaster. Now, it should be noted, yeah, O'Connor is a jerk. He was like in the Phantasy Star Adventure, from what I've read of it, you know, he wasn't a nice guy. Yeah, he helped Rolf, I guess. Oh, hey, there's the box. Which we're, let's see, I don't think we can get there from here. Yeah. But anyway, O'Connor's there. He abducted Shelly because he knew that Rolf would come to rescue her, and that Rolf, he tells him, he's like, "You are my obstacle for world domination," basically. And Rolf's like, "Really?" And so they fight, and of course Rolf wins. And he's about to kill O'Connor, just outright. And then Shelly tells him, of course, "Don't do it. Don't do it." And she reveals that she wasn't kidnapped, and she came by her own will. Yeah, here's where it gets juicy, of course, right? Now that she is an adult, she is the Motavian agent, and O'Connor is actually the Motavian Governor General. They reveal that Rolf's sword skills as a child were impressive, however, his haughty attitude needed an adjustment. Everyone worked together so Rolf would realize the error of his ways and become the responsible adult that he is now. And then, of course, the kidnapping was Rolf's final exam, and he passed with flying colors. And this is nonsense, right? I mean, I'm glad that I never actually played Phantasy Star Adventures, that I just read, like, you know, the information on it and the plot line and all that stuff, because this is one of those plot lines, like, really? You just planned all of this so that I would pass a test? That's rude, is what that is. So that's when Rolf gets offered a job as a Motavian agent, and that's when we find out that the governor, whom we know and love so well from Phantasy Star 2, is O'Connor. Yeah, that jerk O'Connor is the governor who we're like, yeah, this governor's a cool guy. It's him, same guy. Yeah, and when I read this about Phantasy Star 2 Adventure, I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? So the governor seemed like he was just this this jerk of a guy in Phantasy Star Adventures that, you know, really you probably just want to throttle. But he is the key to helping Rolf mature and become a swordmaster. And then Shelly, we never know what happens to her. We never know what happens to her. I don't think, anyway. Yeah, because right from there, that's when between AW 1283 and 1284, we read that a middle-aged scientist couple sympathizes with Nay's plight. Not Nay first, but Nay. The head scientist deemed his creation a failure, attempted to kill her. They took her to live with them. So then the head scientist hires Darum, who we know, an outlaw with a unique scar on his cheek, to hunt Nay and kill her. And then he brings a mob to Nay's house. They chase her with torches, and they set her foster family's house on fire with the three of them still inside. So this is crazy, right? The couple, the middle-aged couple who was sympathetic, they're like, yeah, you gotta go, or Nay, you gotta go, get out of this. I think she flees through a dust chute, and she's dropped into a sewer, and of course she survives, but her family's burned alive in the house. And so then she begins to wander and enter the next Phantasy Star 2 adventure, I believe. People treating her like a monster because of her ears, and so she eventually wakes her way to Pazio, and she's still like little right here. And a hunter notices her and thinks she's a biomonster and uses this opportunity to test his gun on her. So he tranks her, but realizes that she's part human, and then just realizes that, oh, you're just a freak, so I'm going to dispose of you. And when she wakes up, she has to fight with a rabid dog. She beats it with a plank of wood, and she, I think she finds some biomonster cats, Oh, we got ambushed by these guys again. Ugh. Outside of an elderly man's mansion, and she befriends a white kitten before going inside. She smells pharmaceuticals. This is all in the Phantasy Star Adventure, giving her a feeling of deja vu. And I believe this is the head scientist. Let's see. He mutters to himself that he's not the one she's looking for, or he's not the one. That she is not the one he is looking for. Excuse me. Oh man, this fiend is taking us to town, and I'm not paying attention to the game. I'm just snow crowning it up every round. Okay, anyway, blah 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 blah. The important part about this is she comes across Rudo, and he tells her that he's going on a mission to slay biomonsters, but he doesn't know if he'll come back alive. So he gives her this silver bullet. I don't know why, because bullets don't exist in... Well, yeah, they do. They have shotguns and stuff. Anyway. And he felt like he needed to say goodbye to somebody, because, as we know, his family is dead. He tells her goodbye. She wanders back and meets the hunter that shot her. He apologizes to her. Yeah, I'm not sure that would have actually happened, but whatever. We'll just go with it. And excuse me. Where does she run into Rolf? I can't remember. But this is really text heavy. But anyway, eventually she runs into Rolf. The timeline right here gets really text heavy, because this is an important part of Nay's life that we never knew about, right? Unless you ran across this Phantasy Star Adventure, you know basically nothing about Nay. Really, you don't. So anyway, let's see here if there's anything important. Kitten friend, looking for a kitten friend. More time in the sewer. Oh, I need to heal Amy. Oh, crap! Oh, man. Okay, well. That's what the Desrona does. I knew there was something about the Desrona that was sketchy. He has an insta-death ability. Holy smoke. See, this is why you preserve your spell points. Goodness gracious. Technique, Amy, Nares, Rolf. Holy smoke. Yeah, that was nasty. That took me by surprise. And as you can see, this spaceship, Noah, it's kind of maze-like. It's a little mazy. And, okay, so let's do Snow Crown. Okay, we need to pay attention for a second, because we need to heal Amy. Okay, anyway, there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens, we'll just say that. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But it tells you a lot of events of Nay's life between the time she is born, separates from Nay first, I should say, and then meets Rolf. A lot of stuff happens. And so I really wished that the Phantasy Star Adventure had been made into a proper game. I don't know if it's because there wasn't funding or if there wasn't enough interest. And I just got ambushed by 2 Arc Dragons. We are screwed. Oh, please don't one-shot her. Okay. Man, that's nasty. Oh, okay, well. go ahead and lose the true sleeves right now. As you can see, did about 80 damage on Anna. Much better with the snow crown, but man. Man. Okay, let's go ahead and use the amber robe. Let's use some crest gear. Yeah, let's just have a roll fight for now. Just heal ourselves a bit. Fortunately, they can't out DPS our heals on ourselves. Even though they can try, they can give a good effort. Let's go ahead and put Amy on the storm gear now. Yeah, let's just go ahead and have Rudo and Anna heal themselves one more time. Oh boy. Yeah, 2 arc dragons. Arc or arch? Arch dragons? Arc dragons. I can never get it right. Arch dragons. Arc dragons, I guess, sounds more sinister, more menacing. Arc. I should just look this up on Google or something. Okay, let's get him. Oh, okay. So anyway, so then 7 months after Rolf meets Ney, actually, let's go ahead and see if we can sneak in another heal before Rudo does him in. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure that between Rudo and Anna, he'll be down. Yeah, we got him. So Rolf, of course, is assigned to investigate the biomonster outbreaks, the events of Phantasy Star 2 take place. And here's something interesting. Shortly before the underground resistance dispatches Tyler. So who is the underground resistance that we don't know about? Well, they're of course the resistance to Mother Brain, who has of course taken in control oh, excuse me, of the Palman government. And there's an actual resistance against Mother Brain. And where is it? Okay. They dispatch Tyler to rescue Rolf's group on the satellite Gaila, resistant leaders Ohario Sarik and Aina Lasil. Now, these names will be pertinent in Phantasy Star 3. They succeed in cutting off their spaceship's remote control system from Mother Brain. And then, of course, Palma is destroyed when Gaila crashes into it. So, the resistance, which we don't know anything about, is very important. They actually end up saving a lot of the Palmans. We will learn in Phantasy Star 3 what that's all about, but that's all we know for right now. So then, a year after the events of Phantasy Star 4, Ren, the robot that we come to know and love in Phantasy Star 4, is created to maintain Zaylan, the artificial satellite. So all of that happened, and I've been gabbing for a long time now. So as you can see, a whole lot of stuff happens between Phantasy Star 1 and 2. I mean, especially just Ney's life alone, right? Let's see. Need to have Amy do True Sleeves. So going back to the compendium, that was just all in the timeline. None of that was the compendium. I think the compendium might echo some of it. But by and large, let's see. It does talk about Rolf when he was 10 years old, blah, blah, blah. We already read that. He dreams of the battle between the brave, legendary Elisa and Dark Force every night, a clue to the secret of his lineage. Well, we already know that Rolf is... Oh, crap, I did Snow Crown twice because I wasn't paying attention. We know that through what Lutz told us that He descends from a Lys Landell, so he is the rightful ruler to Algol, well, to Palm, but it doesn't matter now because Palm's blown up. We already went over that. And excuse me. Then it talks about Rudger, how so his name is Rudger Steiner, in the compendium. Let's see, he was in the military before he became a biomonster, and then Anne Saga, raised in a normal home. I love that. Let's see. Truth sleeves. She finished her internship just this spring and became a doctor. She's seen many tragedies. She believes in helping the many people who are alone and thus decides to join Eustace and their friends. And then Anna, or Amy Amirski, is how it is in the compendium. Day, month, and year of birth unknown. Employed as a guardian or a counter hunter. Dang it, Rolf got poisoned. Okay, pay attention. Get that dark side down. There we go. Come on. Kind of took a beating on this fight. I didn't expect that, really. I really wish Amy had better agility. Okay. Then it talks about Anna, and then the rest of the guys. Huey Rayan, or Hugh Thompson, Shilka Lavinia, or Sure Gold, Kane's Gian, or Josh Kane. The only one who goes by his last name. Apparently he's too cool to go by his first name, or Josh is just, I guess, was too weird to show up on the character sheets. I don't know. Rolf is poisoned. Let's go ahead and do the Snow Crown. Let's heal ourselves up a bit. Yeah. Oh, that's right, we're poisoned and we can't be healed. Ugh. Okay, fine. And you're paralyzed now, that's great. Attack ability is traced. Oh no! Ah, I thought that she was... nah, never mind. Let's see if there's anything else on the compendium. It talks about the tragedy of mankind's enemy brought forth from civilization. Talks about the recorder that we brought back from the biosystems. And all of that. And then, of course, Nay first encounter and how Nay is killed completely and permanently. Which of course, you know, it's it's one of the most forgotten major landmarks of RPG history, right? Everybody remembers Aerith Gainsborough getting ganked by Sephiroth, but no one remembers Nay, which was years before that ever happened. The first time a major character is killed off, at least a major party character is killed off, and hardly anybody ever remembers it. You know, it's not knowledge that has been passed down really through video game generations. Aerith is really the only one who's remembered for that as the landmark when it really happened almost a decade prior. Anyway, crap! I forgot to depoison Rolf. Ah. I think everything here in the compendium we've already read on the timeline. I think the timeline in the Wiki of Fandom is pretty comprehensive. Let's see here. Nate dies. They go to Dezolis. And then they fight Mother Brain. Now, an interesting thing here that the compendium outlines is so in the Japanese version of the game, excuse me, Rolf and his party are victorious. They win. It is clear in the text that they win. However, in the English version, it leaves it very ambiguous, which we'll see here in our next episode when we actually go to do Dark Force and Mother Brain. So anyway, I think that's about it as far as yeah, that's about it as far as the compendium and the timeline. So I just wanted to really illustrate just how much stuff, how much background stuff there is going on. Now, all of the information that I've read from, it is on the fantasystar.fandom.com wiki after wars. It's under that. So that's where it can be. All this can be read there. But I really just wanted to use or to kind of use this grind and chat episode to illustrate all the stuff that happens right in between Phantasy Star 1 and 2. Also to showcase just how ridiculous it is to try and steal crap from shops. And then also, and finally, I don't know how long I've been just yapping my trap for. It seems like an eternity. But we've been grinding enemies a long time. And if you'll notice, we've not gone up many levels. Rolf's gone up 1 level. Amy has gone up 1 level. Rudo and Anna have not gone up a single level in all the time we have been grinding here. And I would prefer if Amy were level 35, Anna and Rudo I would like to be level 38, and Rolf I would ideally like to be level 40. That's a lot of grinding. And so this episode's been not all grinding, right? We did take some time to you know, we spent some time in Paseo, we spent some time in the Esper Mansion, a couple of minutes in the what is it, the crevice, walking around there. Ouch. Fight. Let's use the Aegis. Excuse me. So anyway, this is what I was talking about. The eternal grind is right here. You come to Noah, and you know you with the snow crown and the pieces of gear that can cast Gyras, you basically just walk around forever and fight until you hit your levels, and then you use the Nay sword to go back to Noah, or to Lutz for a moment, and then you come back and you make your way to the Dark Force and go about trying to beat the game. Okay, so we'll do this fight, and then we'll guild GTFO. We'll go back to the Esper Mansion and use the Visiphone to save. Come on. Nice job, Amy. Okay, item. Rolf. Nay sword. Use. And then... No! Oh, do I have the Nay Met equipped? Yes, I do, thank goodness. That would have been embarrassing. Have I had the Magic Cap equipped all that time? Okay. So now we'll use the Visiphone. Alright, now our next episode, we will be at the end. So we will have done a lot of off-screening. A lot of off-screening. And when I mean a lot of off-screening, I mean a lot of off-screening. 29. Rudo still needs almost 30,000 experience points. Rolf 75. Anna's almost there. Amy 44,000. Yeah. Oh, so much experience, so much grinding. So anyway, if anything, I hope that this illustrated just a few things that I did. Yeah, this was a long episode, but I think that this well illustrates the end of the game grind, the stealing of the items, the leveling up so that you can manage the last boss fights, and so on and so forth. Forgive all of my ramblings with the compendium and the after wars, the timeline and stuff. But like I said, there's a lot of stuff that you don't know about if you didn't have the opportunity to play Gaiden or the Phantasy Star Adventures, especially. A lot of stuff that happened that fills you in on things, and that you wouldn't know otherwise. So anyway, until our next episode and conclusion of the Phantasy Star 2 storyline, so long for now.